And now we come to our chalice lighting. The chalice is the symbol of faith for Unitarian Universalism. Its flame we light and extinguish at the start and beginning of our services and our times together. Today's chalice lighting comes from Tracy Johnson. We light our chalice this morning, light of our creative spirits, light of our wise souls, light of our wandering and curious minds, light of love for this place, this people, this work. Illuminate our hearts and the spaces between them in this sacred time of unfolding. Blessed be. For our opening words, Nature Aria by Yi Li, translated from the Chinese by Tracy K. Smith and Chung Chi Bi. Autumn wind chases in from all directions, and 1,000 chaste leaves give way. Scatter me in the seeds of 1,000 saplings. Let grow a grassy heaven. On my brow a sun. This bliss is yours, living world, and alone it endures. Music at midnight, young wine, lovers hand in hand. By daylight, by moonlight, living world, hold me in your mouth. Slip on your frivolous shoes and dance with me, my soul. Is the wild vine who alone has grasped it, who has seen through the awful plot? Who will arrive in time to vanquish the river already heavy with blossoms, the moon spilling light onto our packs of men? What is sadder than witless wolves, wind without borders, nationless birds, small gifts laden with love's intentions? Fistfuls of rain fall hard, fill my heart with mud. An old wind may still come chasing in, resurrection fire, and me here laughing like a cloud in trousers, entreated the earth to bury me. To introduce our wonderful, wonderful guest and friend today, A Life in the Moonlight by Moonlady Amy Martin. Become swept away by the Moonlady and enthralled by the magic of the moon in this purely poetic talk. Amy Martin, author of Wild DFW, Exploring the Amazing Nature Around Dallas-Fort Worth, will share her relationship with the moon and expound on the nature of moonlight and the art of living with lunar phases, and how we owe our existence to tides and the nature of synchrony. Learn to live in tune with the moon. Part of the Dallas Meditation Center, Awakening Heart Meditation and more weekend services Sundays. Amy Martin has been deeply tied to nature on earth and above since she was a toddler. She writes about nature in books, for articles. She volunteers extensively to aid urban nature programs in their healing, and she recommends a good howl at the moon on a regular basis. Better than therapy, which is why she is called the Moonlady. She is a dear friend, and I am so happy to welcome her today.
Hi there. The night was dark. Cats slipped easily about the darkness in pursuit of phantom prey. As I moved back and forth between the house and garage, the air hung heavy with conspiracy. In quiet anticipation, the cats stilled to a whisper. Then I felt it over my left shoulder, drawing closer. I stood transfixed as a silver light spilled over my neighbor's roofline to the east, and watched my own shadow magically appear before me. Setting down my chores, I wandered through the backyard, smelling flowers in the lunar light and dancing with my shadow. They found me later, watching the rising moon weave through the branches of an evergreen. I'd been moonstruck. There are times that the moon calls to me. In the deep of the night, I'll wake to its glow, drifting between the slats of the blinds, and watch the cats, handmaidens of the moon, sit upright in bed and stare out the window. And so I'll find myself moonstruck again, my robe wrapped tightly against the chill of an overcast sky, mesmerized by the silver illumination drifting through the clouds. Against this argent glow, the twisted majesty of an oak tree in winter was framed, its branches an effortless design, art from the process of life. My lunacy sated once more, I go inside, slip some mugwort under my pillow, and dream of trees. We are led by the sun, and we chase our destinies as they set into the western sky. The sun makes life possible. It warms us, causes the plants to grow and the air to stir. But we are ruled by the moon. Our emotional tides pulled in its wake along with the sea. The moon holds our wants, capturing in its cool gray face our dreams and desires forever out of reach. It evokes the impossible yearning we feel as we gaze across the ocean, look to the infinite sky, or fall in love. It whispers to us, let go. In its turn of phases, the moon marks the cycles of our lives. As the gibbous moon wanes, it peels off a slice of itself each night until it is a shadow without stars suspended against the cosmos, the old moon cradled in the new moon's arms, visible only by the light reflected back from Earth. As a waxing moon, it rises with the sun, lost in the brightness of an azure sky, until it swells into Diana's crescent moon. But whatever the phase, the moon is always there. The tides still pull, its enigmatic presence reminding us that there is only change, birth, death, and rebirth. The magic of the moon goes beyond lunar rhythms, for it is timeless. We have been ensnared by the goddess of the moon in all her forms, Ishel, Selene, Artemis, Inanna. She holds her unfailing mirror to our souls for us to contemplate the beauty and the terror of the reflection that we see, standing over the forever sleeping, the forever young poet Endymion. She mourns his soul's unlived dreams, urging us always to yearn for more, to look to our reflection in the sky and ask why. Have you ever heard Moonlight? It's the arpeggio of a harp. It's the swoop of a cello as it dives to a low note, a flute as it traces a scale through a minor key. One can never hide from moonlight. It is always serenading you. Listen to the shimmering sounds of the moon as it sings to water. Moonlight on the water is sublime, twice reflected light, ephemeral and full of grace. The moon and water conduct a love song for the ages, the merging of two realms, a chord made of light. Gaze upon the moonlit rays as they emanate from the lunar face. Pale, silvery, and pure, elusive is this light, refined and filtered, diffuse and indirect, gentle and inviting. It leaves no sensation on our skin, this rare light without heat. It slips between tight spaces, penetrating like water, descending always to the lowest level. We could never look at the sun this way. It would damage our sight. Absorbing and inviting, the moon accepts our gaze, just as it does the sun's rays. Moonlight is sunlight, reflected, filtered, and refined by the moon. It leaves no clear edges, no definition. Moonlight is a mystery. Bathe yourself in its argent glow on a moonlit night. Supplicate yourself and draw down the moon. Sense the light spiraling your crown chakra open and then flooding your third eye with a pearlescent glow. Feel the saline vibrations expand the throat chakra into a cosmic conduit. Allow the silver gleam to cool the fevered heart chakra so that it opens like a lotus flower blooming. Allow the glow to descend like water through the solar and sacral plexus, softening the shield. Feel it exit through the root chakra, pooling at your feet, cleansing you as above, so below. Fill me with your healing rays, O moon above, feeling with your healing rays, O moon above. Channeling moon energy, channeling moon energy. Her lunar face radiates wisdom, pocked by asteroids and space debris in the early turbulent epochs of our solar system. She is cooling still, billions of years later, from the molten mass of which she formed. Epic lava flows pooled into the large gray splotches that dominate her guise. But she is not gray. Were you standing on the lunar surface, iron oxides grace much of the moon with a rosy hue. There are highlights of titanium blue. Her lunar highlands, ancient wrinkles formed from the cooling magma, boast rocky tan and reddish hues. She is overlaid with a light layer of regolith, a finely etched silicate dust that shimmers like silver. The moon has no atmosphere, not even enough atoms to hold sound. She is utterly silent. She has no wind, no water, so nothing changes, nothing erodes. She is timeless. She is as she was when mankind first laid eyes on her eons ago. Yet the moon is time, the pulse of our lives, the rhythm that drives all life on earth. Feel the beat every 28 days as she completes her lunar cycle, to be born at the new moon, to experience totality at the full, and to fade away until out of the cosmic darkness, the moon is new again. Her brisk lunar pattern syncopates 13 times a year against the big 4/4 beat of the sun's languid seasons. Her massive size stabilizes the planet's axial tilt, and that ensures that the seasonal pulse continues. This is real time, time immortal, infinitely more resilient than any digital endeavor. It will persist long after we are gone. We exist in a great inhaling and exhaling of lunar luminous. We all breathe together, taking big, deep belly breaths into the full moon. Then we exhale until the new moon. The pause at the bottom of the breath, the moment of wu-wei, pure potential. From this lunar rhythm arise the tides eternal. In the planet's primal origin, salty fluids covering the world were still and dark and deep. The earth turned itself out with volcanic activity bursting from a hot, rocky core. Proto-continents of magma pushed up through a primordial Genesis sea. The moon watched all of this. As our planetary duo raced around the sun, after millions of years, the earth calmed the mad, dizzy spinning on its axis. The moon lazily looped the earth rather than zooming around it. As the orbital and axial rhythms began to harmonize, the two celestial bodies fell in synchrony with each other. Now the moon coyly pirouettes around the earth, rotating once on its axis, so that her face remains forever turned towards us. From this synchrony, a barycenter arose, a shared center of gravity around which they both orbit. Their powerful center is not a thing at all, but an idea, a spot that's some 3,000 miles into the Earth's mantle. They swing around each other in a most passionate tango. The moon is no mere satellite of a larger celestial body. She is immense, as moons go, 1/4 the size of the Earth. Nothing like it in the universe has yet to be seen. She and the Earth are essentially a two-planet system. But for this love affair, she gives away part of herself, and she's drifting away from the Earth over an inch every year. So tight is this tango that gravity creates a bulge on the Earth's crust on the side nearest the moon, and the centrifugal force of the Earth's axial spin forms another one on the side furthest from the moon. The surface of the Earth swells and settles over and again. Earth tides, geologists call it. The rising crust sets the ocean in motion. That's what makes it go. It pushes the water, causing tides twice a day, which urge the currents to flow in the sea creatures from cellular krill to giant marine mammals to mix and interact. So most of the Earth is water. Without the moon, the seas would be inert and mostly devoid of life. Every 14 days, the new or the full moon lines up with the sun and the Earth. Everything in a row. Huge gravitational pull. The tides become even higher. Powered by this gravitational precision, the sun rips molecules off the Earth and flings them onto the moon's surface like atomic celestial kisses. In our primal cellular beginnings, billions of years ago, synchrony and the tides mixed the Earth's silent waters, and this pulled nutrient-rich silt up from the ocean floor, which one-celled organisms avidly consumed. Stirred into motion, the cells bumped into each other and do what engorged organisms do, make more of themselves. The rocking tidal motion slooped this fertile cellular soup onto the shores of the protocontinents as they emerged from the magma mire. There, captured and sheltered in warm, sunlit tidal pools, life grew. Some life forms eventually grew big enough and wriggled onto land. And now here we are, made by the moon. Lunar lady, silver sublime, our inspiration in the sky, you hold for all the cycles of time. Luna, I pledge myself to you. I have always loved the moon. As a toddler, I stared out the window at the lunar glow pooling in the folds of the large elephant leaves, cascading onto the grasses where the light went to hide. Moonlight trickled through the tree leaves, bouncing from bough to bough like liquid light. I yearned for the moon. So young, I was barely enough to touch the doorknob. One successful turn, and I escaped into the backyard to be with my beloved Moonlight, a world away from the chaos inside the house. I rested, suspended in her silvery web, and listened to Moonlight. The beautiful moon is my friend, my companion that I share with the world. When I gaze at her opaline face, I know others, millions of them, are as well. We see ourselves reflected in her, and she reflects us all together. We project our dreams and our fervor onto her modeled surface, and it serves as a mirror for us to understand ourselves. But she is more than a night consort. As a waxing moon, from new to full, she is our daytime companion. She rises at dawn, and then at the new moon, and then she rises 15 minutes later every day. The waxing moon is felt more than it is seen, yet she is there, teaching us to have faith and persist. And at the full moon, she rises as the sun sets and graces the night skies as she wanes. Make time for the moon. Learn her lunar ways. Allow her to open you up and bring you peace. As Oscar Wilde said, with freedom, books, flowers, and the moon, who could not be happy? We are opening. We are opening. We are opening up to a new sensation, to the luminous love light of the moon. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the moon tonight.
For our closing words, we have The Peace of Wild Things by Wendleberry. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world, and I am free. To close our chalice, A Blessing of Darkness and Light by Amy Zucker Mornstein. Blessed is the dark in which we find our dreams stir and are revealed. Blessed is the dark of earth where seeds come to life. Blessed are the depths of the ocean where no light shimmers, the womb of all earthly life. Blessed is the light into which we awake, the light that sparkles on the water, that calls the tree forth from seed and calls the shadow forth from the tree. Blessed are we who move through darkness and light.